Hello, Commanders, and welcome back to Tadowski Shelter. Your base journey will lead down lots of paths, but mostly you are set down one path in the beginning of the game. Things will start to get stagnant as it pertains to upgrading your base, and you start to focus more on getting more troops and heroes. Most will start to have every building maxed out, most of your tech trees will be completed, and you will be competing in Doomsday and Eden seasons, basically just waiting for the next one, wondering if this is the game forever. You know it's not, because you see all the videos and chats about all the things that you are going to have, and most people just speculate when you will get them. However, I'm here to tell you that this will start to change around season 6 or 7. Some players may not do season 6, which is known as faction war, and others will. Some states will not see some seasons of Eden, and there's a reason for that. But for others, they will experience every season of the battle and see the progression of Eden. But this video isn't about Doomsday or Eden, and it's not about every new thing you get. Today, we will be discussing the newly opened techs that you will have access to around this time. I'm going to give a brief overview, the materials you're going to need, and what you should focus your main things on with the limited resources and overwhelming new things that will be available to you. Something else that's available to you is this channel, and all you have to do is like and subscribe for more videos, lives, information, tactics, news, and so much more. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. So around the time of Faction War or Season X Eden conflict, you will get hammered with a lot of new things. Amongst all the things that will become available to you, probably the most important thing that you will get is the technology that gets opened up. The first thing you need to know is that 3 new trees will be opened up to you initially, and then a 4th tree will be opened up to you once the season officially starts. These trees are going to be survival tactics, mech, top military techs initially. As you complete some of these, more trees will open up. Now, a new technology was released for most players, but this has not been officially noted towards any specific Doomsday season, and that is military advance. The 4th tree that opens up is a temporarily available tree that pertains specifically to the Eden season and will go away after the season ends. This is called season techs. Now, all trees are extremely beneficial, but require a lot of resources and some special resources that are going to be a bit harder to obtain. The easiest one to discuss is going to be the mech tree. Now, the mech tree pertains to your auto lifting pad and focuses primarily on unlocking all of your mechs and increasing the speed and amount of components that you can make. This tech tree does not require any rare resources like war badges, but does require a lot of regular resources to research. Now, your survival tactics, top military techs, and military advanced trees all will require you to use war badges. And later down the tree, they will require a lot of them. You may run out of war badges to research technologies further down the line, and it's important to keep track of your badges and making sure that you have enough to keep your research flowing. Season techs, which is the last tree, will require rare earth material. Now, this is a special resource that is obtained through a few different avenues, like completing specific achievements in Eden, completing faction missions, and processing tainted soil in your processing plant. The season tech tree has a lot of useful features that can make your base stronger in Eden, but these materials are not very easy to come by and will start to add up the further you get. Now, before we talk about the important things in these trees and a good tactic to go about using your limited resources, let's talk about the last technology that becomes available to you around this time. The second most important tech that will open up to you is in the Yesterday Institute. Now, the Yesterday Institute will have its own variety of trees that has a primary initial focus of advancing your base past level 25 and give you the ability to open up level 11 troops. This building and its research will require defense plans in order to research the different tech trees, and upgrading your base's buildings will require titanium. The Yesterday tech will require a lot of defense plans, and these are as hard to come by as rare earth materials. Using these resources wisely or to benefit your playstyle is going to be important unless you just plan to buy everything and quickly max it all out. The Yesterday tech is a tough tree to discuss. However, we can discuss the basics and the best way to obtain level 11 troops as quickly as possible. The Yesterday tech will be separated into hard drives. Now, each hard drive will have about 3 to 4 individual trees inside of it. In order to have the next hard drive become available, you need to complete at least 40% on the prior hard drive. Now, the first hard drive will give you access to start upgrading your buildings and giving you access to more titanium through various avenues. The second hard drive will focus more on opening up your level 11 troops. The issue that you're going to face is that in order to successfully get a level 11 troop, you will need to fully research one troop type tree in the first hard drive. To say that you're going to need a lot of defense plans is an understatement. This process will take a good amount of time and a good amount of defense plans. The best way to go about this would be to focus on the things that will help you upgrade your base one level at a time, the things that will give you access to more titanium, and to focus on only one troop type at a time. Most preferably, the troop type that you utilize the most. Once you unlock the second hard drive, continue down the path of the troop type you choose until you unlock level 11, and then move on to the next troop type. Spreading out your plans amongst all 3 troop types will ensure that you're going to be out of plans and will have to wait a while in order to build up your plans for the next higher level tech. Now, you will get some plans through various events, and you will get them during COS and COA, but just enough to save up so that you can access the next level. So using these things wisely will prove to be vital in the long run. As for the regular techs and strategies you can use here, for the mech tree, the most vital thing here is to unlock the extra mechs and not so much of everything else in this tree. If you want to save some war badges, you can do a few of the techs in this tree instead of always using war badges. This will help ensure that you aren't just blowing through all your war badges and having nothing to research. The ability to process mechs components faster and more of them is nice, but it's not a heavy priority at the early stages. As for the techs that require your war badges, remember you will still need war badges for the cutting edge technology cooldown resets. Add this with the high cost of war badges in the other trees, and you can quickly run out of badges that will cause hiccups in your research running smoothly. So what are the points that we should focus on, and where are the best places to use our war badges? Top military tech is the highest cost tree out of all the other trees, so saving this one for last or doing a few here and there is advisable, as you will get the same buffs at a cheaper cost in the other trees. In survival tactics, this should be the tree that you start with, and you should research it until the second row of inspired techs are completed so that you can start receiving war badges and iron plates for doing Clash of Zones or Clash of Alliance events. Once you fully research this row and obtain the ability to get war badges for these events, switch the focus of the trees to the top military tech and start researching here. Research this tree until you complete Miraculous Revival. This tech will allow you to automatically heal 200k troops either in your hospital or in your immunity center. The requirement for this will be daily activity points to hit at least 340 points, and you can use this skill once a day. This skill is huge inside of Eden, where it can take a very long time to heal T10 troops. There are also other skills that can boost this to heal 400k troops instantly, but that is going to be a topic for another video. Once you get to this point, you can either start the beginning of Military Advance 1 and get the buffs for Doomsday events and faster marching speeds, or go back to Survival Tactics and start to research this tree more. You can swap back and forth between the three trees in this instance to see what tech buffs you would prefer and work towards that goal. At this point, the most useful use of your badges is in the two primary trees of Survival Tactics and Top Military Tech, leaving Military Advance for the end or anytime you wish to squeeze it in. The reason for this is that the previous two trees are preferable due to their much lower costs to research one tech versus the Military Advance, where you will get roughly the same buffs. Or you can work the higher cost tree until you run low on badges and focus on the smaller stuff until you can build your badges back up. Whichever is preferable to you is what you should go with, but the most important thing is to hit those benchmarks in the two trees before swapping around. The last one is Season Tech. Now, there is really no tactic for this tree, and it is temporary while Eden is going. This will utilize a specific resource that is used only during Eden. So researching this whenever possible will help further you along in your Doomsday season. Now, I can give you the specific amount of cost for each tech, but those are already done and the charts are available out there. In the scheme of things, I'm not hugely interested in that aspect for this video. Just know that you will need a lot, an amount that you will not initially be able to calculate, and if so, you may not even want to know that number unless you have a very high availability of spending money. I think the one huge message I have always preached is that if you see a resource that you cannot use yet, grab it so that you can store it and be ready to use it as soon as that stuff becomes available. Those rare resources will be useful later on, and the more you can grab earlier, the faster you can advance when that stuff becomes available to you. Now, I hope this helps somewhat explain the text and the best way to go about it. The specifics of the trees are not the main points here. You know that you will need to complete the tree at some point. You know that everyone has access to the same tree and the buffs inside of it, and you know that they are mostly going to be generalized true buffs in various areas. So worrying about every tech avenue isn't that big of a deal, as opposed to knowing the main junctions of that tech tree. And something else that is important to know and to do is liking and subscribing to the channel for more Last Shelter stuff, live streams, giveaways, Q&As, and more. So hopefully this will help you get ahead on things. Remember to share the information, help each other out, look out for each other, and most importantly, be safe out there.